Welcome to the Lotco Business Podcast, a show all about helping you as a retailer, brand, or creative understand the actual business side of running your business. I offer straightforward, practical advice about the nitty-gritty of making money from your creative passion. We will be covering bite-sized business and marketing lessons, as well as interviews with experts and trailblazers in the fashion, homewares, and design industries. My name is Melissa Robbins. I'm a business coach, colour-loving, non-coffee drinking Melburnian. Let's get into it. My name is Melissa Robbins. I'm super excited to share with you an episode today that I recorded last year with Joey from Growme, Melbourne. So we were on Instagram Live and we had this conversation, and I just wanted to make sure I shared it with you because it was such a great insight into her journey and her story. And yeah, I look forward to you to listening to the episode and letting me know what you think as well. So let's get into it. Hello, welcome. I am going to go live with Joey from Growme, Melbourne. Super excited to have her come on here and share a little bit about her journey in the last 12 months. So I'm just going to invite her in and get her to join me. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to chat to you as always.
Thank you. And so let's just go back a little bit. How do I actually pronounce your brand name? Because I know that your username just there has got Melbourne on the end, but
just Growme is fine. It's Growme Melbourne, but Growme for short is fine.
Growme, okay, perfect. So tell me first of all a little bit about what your product is.
Yeah, so I create the moody board for Growme Melbourne, and it basically is a purpose-built product that has solves a problem that a lot of us face these days while working from home, which is productivity. Mm-hmm. So it to help with organization and focus, and doing it in a beautifully aesthetic way.
Yes.
So I also corkboard design the products for that it looks good.
So is that something that you're out there looking for it and you couldn't find it? Is that sort of how it came about?
Exactly. So I was working remotely pre-COVID times, and I was sitting at my desk and felt uninspired, and I just thought I really want something really beautiful for me to pin up my stuff, and I couldn't find anything. So because I'm an architect, I just made one for me. Yeah. So that was and then COVID hit, so I just decided to let's just test this out, and started from there really.
Started from there. Okay, so how long have you been going?
So, well, I'd say about 5 years now, but obviously 5 years, while doing it, while working. Yeah. So now I'm focused. I'm like, let's just do this for real now.
But yeah, that's good. And because we met before this, but we had a long chat on the business couch last year, and that's why I wanted to get you on here as well, because we've got the business couch coming up, Life in Style, the trade show coming up, and I've got, appointments with people then. And then obviously you're in, part of that is you join my program, the Roadmap program, which is, again, I'm launching now. So it's like, okay, let's have a chat to Joey and see what's happened in the 12 months since we had that chat.
Absolutely. So sitting with you on the business couch this time last year, like Life in Style, it has really changed my whole year. The business couch was really the start of it. It was a wake-up call for me that I really need help in this department. I was going on, doing the business as a side hustle, but I realized when I chatted to you, I'm like, shit, there's so much that I don't know. So I signed up for the PBB course, the Roadmap, and it really is I cannot stress how much it has changed, how I've structured the business. All the stuff that you said immediately on that couch, that half an hour was so valuable. You were like, oh, you need to change your manufacturing. You need to let's talk about your product. Let's break it down. All that stuff was the first few things that I changed, and it has changed everything. So I cannot stress how helpful has been. Highly recommend anyone on the couch, coming up at Life in Style, please sign up to the PPP course. It's so
amazing. Thank you. Because one of the things that I talk about first, and what we talked about on the couch, was that margin and pricing, because you can have a beautiful product, you can have your sales, but if you don't have any sort of margin left over, you're never going to make any money from it, essentially, and you can't grow or scale if you've got no margin in your product. And obviously that's one of the things that you looked at, reviewed, and you also used the spreadsheet that I put in there as the first key thing to work on, because it's, obviously I've just been doing it for so long myself, and then working with other people going, well, how can you keep it simple? Because, most people who are in business are creatives, and they're not necessarily like numbers, or spreadsheet people, which doesn't mean that you can be one or the other. But having a simple way to work out what prices you need from your manufacturers, that's been a big part, hasn't it?
It's been so huge. That's the thing. Like, I don't come from retail or business, so so I know how to design things, but I don't know anything about business. So your spreadsheet is literally this is a guide. This is, you just keep information, break down everything, the cost of your goods, and then it gives you a projection of like how much you would be able to earn. Like, it's super practical information in when you are doing that manufacturing process and ordering and budgeting. It's so practical. So please, I would just sign up a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
I use it
practical. That's it. It's yeah.
Yeah. So I like for other courses as well, but your course in particular is very focused on products, and it's practical and gives you the tools on what you need to do, and the spreadsheets and all sorts of other really helpful tips, your catalog, examples, all of the stuff that you get. It's like,
that's amazing. And I guess that's the thing, like, that's the point of difference. I think you touched on it there, that it's about product. It is about the whole business, not just say, e-commerce or other things. Like, it's really giving you that tools for how to run the business. And you had great feedback for me too, which was, like talking about, I think, how to more day-to-day, like how do you function in a day-to-day process. So that's great, because getting feedback from people who've been in it for a while now, it's like, okay, I can add that element in, like how to manage that time management and needle moving activities, adding those things into the program so that people can have that practical tip about what to actually do.
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. So
yeah. And so since then, you've manufacturing, and you've obviously added other products too. Tell me about what else you added.
So we're planning to do a different format for our moody board. So a lot of people have requested for a horizontal format, because they have, like, I'll show you what the desk looks like. They have one of these things.
Yes.
So that's my moody board. And they have like these floating shelves, which the moody board does not fit on. So we're doing a horizontal version and maybe a smaller version, and other products to complement, like magnetic planners and whatnot. So like expanding on our core product.
Yeah. And since, this is another thing with the touching on the margins, like I talked about in the my webinar that I did yesterday, the training, having the right margins and having the right pricing structure gives you more confidence to go out and sell to more people, right? Because, and I think that's the thing, like, you've added a few different categories to what you had probably last year as well. So tell me about where else it's used, like other locations, like the hospitals and all of the other additions.
It's been great. Like, I love our product, that it is so simple, but it's been born out of a personal need of mine, but it's been able to be applied across different industries. So it's been used not only for the home office, which its primary function is for, but it's also used in hospitals. Hospitals have used them for patient information boards. It's a really cost-effective way for them to like lift the space through like color and design into these like really white clinical spaces. So it's easy and not expensive. So we're so happy to like tap into that. And then we're also in hospitality, where people use it as their menu boards. So it's really great to just be able to expand to different sectors.
Yeah, that's great. And tell me a little bit about overseas. You've started to expand a little bit there as well, or touch on a few different countries. Where are you sold or stocked now, or sell to?
Yeah, so we started like pretty early on. We were stocked in the UK via Growme. They are a online-based store in the UK that promotes and sells amazing Australian designers. So we were lucky to like tap into that. That was our kind of first into the UK market. And then I think from there we got picked up by Liberty London. They contacted us. I would love to stock your product, and then
that is huge.
Huge, and they because of freight. So then learning from that, cut out the whole freight issue. We have decided, like, we got recently approached by Dormify in the US, and they are also part of the Container Store. And they said, we would like to stock you. Do you have a warehouse in the US? And I said, no. But then learning from that previous experience, we were like, let's just go. Let's just have a 3PL in the US and then see how it goes. So we're now in the US, which is super exciting, scary, but it's like, you go all in, or, you live, you learn from everything.
And that's another thing, like in the roadmap, obviously you touched on, because that's something a lot of people do need. So then that is we're doing the webinar on tomorrow, actually, all about expanding globally too. So that's something that, lots more people, I think it's a sort of thing that it used to be, people would say, you can cover Australia first or cover the local country and then you can expand. But I think with the way the world is now, it's such a global market, people can see things everywhere. They can find inspiration or source things from other countries. There's no reason to limit yourself to, just establishing yourself in one market. Like, I think it's great to open yourself up. And things like that, Dormify, I think that's such a good option, because that is the prime thing that people would use the product for, and they're going into that space, that Dormify sort of marketplace, because they want a product that's going to help them in that way. So then I think it's such a good way to expand your reach. And I think those sort of little marketplaces have got such an audience already that I think it'd be crazy not to tap into that. And that's, again, I think there's lots of artists too who are like, should I go on to, Wall of Art or whatever it might be. And I think all those different marketplaces are such a great way to expand, and it means that you've got more options than just your own direct to consumer or just your own wholesale.
Absolutely. And they will also be promoting your product, and they already their own following. So I don't think that you would lose out. Another thing that I wanted to touch that I've learned from this process is that it's actually not that much more expensive to expand, because you still have to pay for storage and warehousing if you're in Australia anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like a different location. The only thing that you have to pay extra is the freight, and you incorporate the price of your product.
Yeah, so that's another thing, like making sure that you've got your landed prices when you so that you've catered for that cost to get there in the first place. Yeah, 100%.
That's when you use your spreadsheet again.
It's all in there. It's all in there, people. I love it. That's so good. So what's the sort of, are you at Life and Style again coming up this time?
Not this.
No.
As a business.
because obviously you've reaching those new markets and getting those new locations, you don't necessarily need to be in that particular one.
It's a little bit of a tricky, busy time for me right now. So I've opted to, not do Life and Style this year, but definitely in the future coming years.
Yeah. And then are you adding more products? Are you adding your horizontal version? And are you adding any more desk products? Like, has that been good to add in some lower price point products too? So it's not just the bigger moody board?
Yeah, so I've done a couple of different formatted mouse pads, which will be really, really fun. They're a bit different from what's there on the market. And we'll be adding magnetic planners, which is in the design process at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to launching those. So
yeah, super exciting. Thank you. And anything else you want to touch on? What else can we touch on here? Just thinking, what sort of suggestions would you give to people who are either just starting or they're wanting to expand from where they're at now and take up to that next level? What would you suggest? Anything to focus on or what?
For me, I think definitely invest in a mentor. That was a big thing for me. Invest in yourself. I've done a lot of personal development and signed up for a lot of courses, and it has helped me immensely. Doing business is a really lonely road, and so you really need to be in the right mindset and mentor to guide you through it. It's either you learn the hard way and make mistakes on your own, or you learn from a teacher who will tell you, so it saves you that time.
That saves you time and money, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another would be to surround yourself with really positive people, because you're going to get judged. If you go back to your job, you get judged. If you stay the same, you don't grow, you get judged. If you get success, judged. So you just you do you.
So yeah, they say that the more you surround yourself with people who either show you what's possible as well and just be push you forward as opposed to keeping you safe, sometimes that's not helpful at all. So surrounding yourself with the right people is definitely can have a huge impact. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Joey, one of the feedbacks that Joey gave me, one of the things that you asked for me to expand on was the expanding globally. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow in the Roadmap program. So anyone's in the Roadmap program gets access to that. And then also I'm doing the free webinar again today, because I don't know if you saw this, Joey, but I forgot to press record yesterday. And I'm redoing it again today so that there's a replay, because I didn't do it. So that's available to anyone to register. And then I've got another webinar this week too. I'm a bit crazy because I'm away next week. So Friday I have a free webinar on trade show essentials, which is obviously if people are actually going to be at a trade show, they can come to that too. So much is happening this week. So we've got 3 in a row, 4 days counting yesterday in a row of webinars and trainings. So super excited. But I think that's the whole thing of, trying to share and help people grow and help people have passion about their product and make sure they're making that profit. Because as I emphasized to you on that couch, a year ago, it's like there's no point selling it if you're not actually making enough, and you're really making it harder for yourself by doing it in a particular way.
Absolutely. I think if you're not looking at the profit, then it's a hobby, really. It's not really a business.
Yeah.
So yeah, sitting with you last year really changed the trajectory of my year. So thank you. I just have to say, be so thankful to you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that we got your appointment in, because I remember I was like, I'll fit you in. And well positioned near the couch. That was good. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate, your time and obviously for that. And I'm glad we could do it without distractions too, because if we'd moved, maybe that might not have been cool. And yeah, let me know if anyone has any questions, or if you want to find out more about, what Growme is and where it's sold and anything like that as well. So thank you so much, Joey.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and I hope you enjoyed the journey. Just wanted to let you know that in the show notes, you can find the link for the Roadmap to Profit. You can join the waitlist. Depends on when you're listening, whether it's open or not. You can definitely join that waitlist to be the first to find out when it is available to join. And you can head to the link, which is thelotco.com /waitlist Roadmap to Profit. And I look forward to seeing some of you in there. So I hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to sharing more of these types of episodes with you soon. Thank you so much for listening to the Lotco Business Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you subscribe to receive future episodes as they are released. And I'd be so grateful for a review on Apple Podcast. If you would like a copy of the show notes or any of the links mentioned today, please jump onto my website at thelotco.com.au /podcast. Have an amazing week, and I look forward to chatting to you again soon.